Shabbat Shalom. This week brings us to the end of the book of Vayikra, the end of the book of Leviticus, with the dual portion of Behar-Behukotai. Behar begins with a description of the personification of the land. And just as a human being works 6 days and has a Shabbat on the 7th, so too does land work for 6 years and have a Shabbat on the 7th year. That 7th year is called the Shemitah year or the sabbatical year. And after 7 cycles of 7 years, after 49 years, the 50th year becomes the Jubilee, the Yovel. The characteristics of the sabbatical year and the Jubilee are that during each 7th year of this 7-year cycle, the land is to lie fallow. And the Torah says it very clearly, that the reason the land has to have a Shabbat is to teach us that the world was not created simply for our consumption, that we are not the masters of all we survey. The Torah puts the words in God's mouth, Ki li haaretz, because the earth is mine. And every Jubilee year, every 50th year, if land had been sold in order to repay a debt, the title to the land reverted to its original ownership, or to a descendant of the original owners. So that the way that the land was apportioned in the very beginning, when Joshua came in and led Bnei Yisrael into the promised land, and the land was divided up by tribes, and then subdivided by clans, and the clans were subdivided by families. That original division of the land was to remain as long as God allowed us to live in Israel. And that's really the lesson, that we don't own land. It's merely in our possession. We are, at best, tenants. Therefore, our relationship to the land is one of a steward and not an owner. We may not, we dare not, do whatever we want on the land. We may not, and we dare not, do anything that we want to the environment. And I wonder if it's merely an accident that this week is the week that we look at the Shemitah year and the Jubilee. This week, as we are still reeling from the disaster of the catastrophic oil leak 50 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico, which at this moment is still gushing 5,000 gallons of oil a day into the Gulf, threatening the sensitive ecosystem of the Gulf Coast. We are merely stewards. We have to be very careful of how we extract resources from the earth and what we need to do to replenish that which we take out of the earth. Because that's what the Torah teaches us in Parshat Behar. If we treated the land and the environment as a person, as the Torah does, would we, in fact, be facing the catastrophe that threatens to engulf the entire coastline of the Gulf of Mexico with oil, with its repercussions that could be decades, even generations? This Shabbat, may we once again renew our commitment to a healthy environment and take seriously our charge to be responsible stewards of our environment. Shabbat Shalom. May you have a Zis and Shabbos, and I'll see you in Shul.